Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back with another video from Mother's Basement. We're on another best anime ones to watch. This is the spring 2022 season. I normally do these like as soon as possible, so I get an idea as to watch, but I've started doing my own videos on these. A link will be in the description. I uploaded it a couple of days ago at the time of me recording this, of what I thought of the anime season, but not like the ones to watch. Like, I watched quite a lot and then gave my opinion on whether they were good or bad. Very brief, but if you want to check that out, because I'm trying to put out like one original video a month at the moment out, that'll be in the description. But it's going to be interesting for me to compare what he's put on the list of good ones and what I did not. So let's see if there is a difference, shall we? Probably not, but let's see.
Where is a man ever supposed to find the time to... Oh!
Oh,
hi.
hello.
See you there. Sorry, I'm a mite distracted at the moment. We've got a huge move coming up real quick, and
it's always difficult.
Many fervent prayers I've made to the anime gods, the new season that just finished coming up is also huge.
There's a lot. There is a lot.
Any breaks. 29 new shows, including Oodles of Isekai, the hypest waifu this side of Marin, and an adaptation of
Spy
the new king of
Family!
the genre that Shonen Jump is best known for, gag manga. And, if that weren't enough, we're also facing down a staggering 16 sequels to the likes of Kaguya-sama, Komi-san, and Shield Hero. As a man who
I didn't put the sequels in my video either, but like,
every new anime every season, this is a lot to deal with. So it's the least I can do, like, literally, to suffer through all the potential crap this season and put together a list of the best ones.
Let's do it.
The best new ones, I mean, because, you know, sequels are for people who've already seen the
yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. It's like,
Ultra Romantic definitely doesn't need my help to get new viewers, for example.
Third season.
While I'd love to sing the gospel of Ascendance of a Bookworm one more time, I can recognize that 3 seasons
you see, I
is a big buy-in, even for
wasn't into it in the initial like viewing. I might have to check it out.
So, if you're about to leave a comment asking where that or the new Blackrock shooter is, please continue. Actually, it is very good for the algorithm. Also, now that I mention it, the new Blackrock shooter is kind of a unique case because it, along with Summertime Render, a very promising, surreal, small-town time loop murder mystery that I was really looking forward to, is going to be one of the first-ever residents of the newly opened Disney Plus jail.
Oh,
yeah, we all
it was bound to happen, wasn't it? Jesus, yeah.
This is America, where one prison closes.
Oh, that makes sense. Disney are going to start owning stuff as well. Damn.
You know what kind of anime aren't going to be on this list? I suppose we should get to the ones that are, after a quick ad read. These are the ones to watch for spring 2022. Sponsored by Crunchyroll. The most hyped new anime of this season by a wide margin is Shikimori's Not Just a Kid.
What is this? I've not seen this.
Almost the top.
How have I... So I've missed anime. What's this on?
Being a good story about a very good girl in a healthy relationship with an equally good boy, but also...
How have I not seen this? I'm fuming. I thought I watched everything.
Just a cute girl, she's also a badass.
Ooh, that eye.
Or maybe save your ass from getting isekai'd.
Whoa, you avoided truck gun.
Squeeze while she stares firmly and assertively into your eyes with a gaze that tells you everything will be okay in the end. Spike Spiegel's perfect woman, in other words. Lucky for her, she's not dating that loser, though. Instead, she wants to protect the precious, fragile smile of well-groomed, soft-spoken Izumi.
The eyes are so bright.
Cursed with supernaturally bad luck, who kinda needs her preternatural reflexes and princely sense of protective beauty to keep him, what's the word?
How did I not watch this? This looks awesome.
He is one lucky, unlucky guy, too, because as much as he appreciates her cute side, it's those moments where Shikimori's his knight in shining armor that really get Izumi's heart pounding. I don't know about you, but to me, all of that sounds very cute and fun and good, and like it's probably going to awaken some new kinds of feelings in some kinds of people.
Sounds great. Sounds awesome.
About 2 people in a healthy relationship and all the interesting folks in their orbit, which tends to be my favorite kind of rom-com. The show does start a bit slow, only showing its true potential in the back half of the pilot episode, but I have it on good authority that the manga gets really good pretty quickly.
Cool.
So as long as the temporary shutdown of Doga Kobo due to a COVID outbreak doesn't totally screw up the entire production, it stands to reason that the anime, too, will get really good. And it's already pretty damn good, so watch it. But enough with all that lovey-dovey stuff. You want something intense.
Go, dance, dance, dancer!
And boy,
this is Boss.
Good one for
this was on my list.
Dance, Dance, Danseur is a macho-as-fuck seinen martial arts anime about... Don't interrupt me.
Ballet.
I know what I said.
Ballet.
About a natural-born athlete with a secret, prodigious passion for ballet.
I love this concept.
Captured by the performance art when he mired a
Studio Mappa
display of peak masculine physique at his
you can see the Attack on Titan eyes.
Recital. But sadly, before he can even start joining her for
dad
practice,
passed away, doesn't he?
their dad, a professional stunt coordinator and Jeet Kune Do master, does what you'd expect a Cowboy Bebop fan to do and dies tragically young. And so the boy chooses
he's the man of the house now.
In order to live up to the manly ideal that his
list.
dad represented to him. Even if that's not what his dad would actually have wanted for him. But that all changes years later when the hottest and most popularist girl at his high school shows up at his door and then flashes her panties at him.
That was a great scene.
Not the audience. Classy move, director.
Very classy. Very classy.
To her family's ballet studio and expose that
the mom's great.
Mom's great. Kick he was showing off at school is actually a flawlessly executed 540. And then she asks him to be her dance partner. And just to be clear, she flashed him on purpose. Miyako Godai is a very dangerous young woman.
Damn.
It seems like Junpei knows it, and she knows
he knows it.
I fully anticipate there will be much drama and that it will be delicious. We're not wasting any time getting there.
Let's
either.
chomp down on that
Junpei doesn't, as you might expect, Troy Bolton all over the place and make her chase him down for the full episode and convince him to do ballet, but instead he immediately springs into a
he's like, look, I can do it. How dare you?
Fireworks explosion of dance, sucked in by the irresistible pull of the open dance floor before him. A moment of exhilarating freedom and intoxicating physical energy captured in stunning Kyoani-esque animation that effortlessly conveys to even the ballet-hatingest of viewers why dancing is cool and
dancing
manly,
is cool, damn it.
Actually, and
so freaking cool.
Why this guy just can't let go of that feeling. Even if he does keep it buried under some Troy Bolton insecurities. Now, clearly this show is a bit different from your typical martial arts anime, but all of the necessary ingredients are
very
there.
much so.
You got a protagonist who's driven to see where his physical limits lie and then shatter them, a dojo with reluctant old masters who nonetheless can't bring themselves.
I was very, very taken aback by this. I really liked the first episode. Like, yo.
Dead father figure, a good old-fashioned hot-blooded rivalry, and, most importantly, muscle sakuga. I rest my case, even though I feel like I shouldn't have to rest a case. In a perfect world, everyone would already know about the unrivaled glory of Princess Tutu, and I wouldn't have to tell you that real men watch ballet anime, but we live in this world, so here we are. Look, I understand only wanting to watch anime about awesome children.
No.
I really do.
I did not like this. This was stupid. Birdie, girls, golf story.
I learned that the truly awesome thing about anime is how a great one can make any subject matter, no matter how lame it
This is so stupid.
feel awesome.
No.
Case in point, Birdie Wing, Golf Girls Story. Now, when I first saw that title next to this character lineup, my first thought was, okay, yeah, I get it. You put the cute girls next to the world's least exciting spectator sport, and all of a sudden you got a laid-back nature
No, this was
club
so
show.
lame.
Nice
It's so stupid and over the top.
Wait, did that girl just call out a special attack name?
Yes, she did. And then in between the train cars.
Cars at night.
Yeah.
Eve, our heroine, is a golf hustler from the wrong side of the track.
So stupid. And she does it for the kids, man. She does it for the kids.
But rather hits balls with sticks to survive the only way she knows how.
No,
Sometimes
Jeff,
in
what are you
late-night
doing?
underground urban golfing
I mean,
rules,
the friend
others
being
in
obsessed with
official
Gundam
tournaments
models
where she
is
uses
class. Like, I think
elaborate
that's
spy
funny.
disguises to
Her friend,
impersonate
like,
and pinch hit for the pros. But much like Megalobox Joe and Beyblade Tyson, when a talented, wealthy rival appears before her, Japanese golf prodigy Amawashi Aoi, it spurns Eve to pursue the sport.
I can't believe he's put this on the ones to watch list. No!
For Aoi faster than just about any waifu I've ever seen with this one moment. She's just so pure, and she manages to be that pure without the show's art style or characterization having to lean into the moe cliches. Don't get me wrong, the show's still clearly banking on its waifu appeal,
yes,
but those waifus have a more mature allure to them than most anime released these days, instead of just being cute, as well as big, interesting personalities, and the strong will that you'd expect from any aspiring.
Take them out of this.
Also, it looks like one of the villains they're gonna face down is a sexy, evil, golfing vampire. So clearly, the people making this know exactly what they are doing. But maybe having fun isn't what you're looking for. Maybe you'd prefer to alternate between fun and being bummed out about all the tough stuff in life. So you appreciate.
Have I missed another one?
Funny parts.
What is this?
Do happen.
I've missed another one.
If that sounds like an anime more suited to your taste, then you'll likely find Daimon.
I didn't watch this. What the what?
Japanese sweet shop to be utterly delicious. Nagamu Irino was the heir apparent to his dad's Wakashi workshop, Ryokusho, but when he came of age, he unexpectedly decided to leave and see what else life had to offer. 10 years later, when his dad is hospitalized, Nagamu finally realizes just how important it is to him that someone be there to carry on the shop's legacy, and so he returns to Kyoto at last ready to take up the mantle of successor. Unfortunately for him, that mantle has already been taken by Itsuka Yukihara, an earnest, hard-working young girl who's been living and working in the shop since her dad abandoned her there over a year ago. So now, instead of training to take over the shop like he thought he would, Nagamu finds himself tasked with becoming the father figure that its actual future owner desperately needs in the present. While he doesn't think he's really ready for that, and the diligent 10-year-old isn't too thrilled to
interesting take.
From his perspective, abandoned his duties to his family either, they will both, of course, over the course of the story, eventually discover that
not get together, but they get on. Yeah, they'll have the family thing and help each other out. Yeah.
It will be very heartwarming, and you will probably smile and cry at the same time. At least I hope. Though what I'm really desperately hoping is that Daimon Recipe for Happiness never pulls an Usagi drop on us, because that's my fear every time a wholesome dad and daughter
don't do the
appears,
weird thing.
especially
Don't
when the
do the
daughter
weird
is adopted.
thing.
Now, knowing anime and knowing me, you knew there was going to be some kind of isekai somewhere on this list, but let me tell you, the Executioner and her way of life...
Why have I not seen this either? What the friggin' hell's going on?
Just look at it. The most breathtaking...
This looks great. The animation's sick. What the friggin' hell?
Combined with acrobatic action, the likes
Is this on Crunchyroll? I'm literally on Crunchyroll now.
Reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat could only dream of having animated that nicely. Sorry, that sentence kind of got away from me. I was just...
This looks that good. Whoa!
With that kind of premium production quality and a top-shelf murder waifu as the star, this has got to have at least a 7 on my anime list? Nani the fuck? Actually, I think I know what's going on here. See, your standard factory setting isekai sells itself on a power fantasy wherein the hero, who was an outcast in our world,
I have not watched
gains
Arifureta.
incredible magic powers in the new world that allow him to effectively make it his plaything.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously that's a pretty raw deal for the people already living there, right? Fucking angsty, friendless teenagers running around, bending the very forces of nature to their whims. Gonna do a number on the economy at the very least.
Oh yes,
or,
indeed.
You know, turn an entire village except for one protagonisty orphan into pillars of salt. So, in a fantasy world that gets a lot of those sorts of isekai tourists, if one were to assume that the inhabitants are rational actors driven by their own self-interest, much like people in our world are not, and also that institutions like churches would use similar methods to those historically employed by churches in our world to hold on to their institutional power, it stands to reason that it would be someone's job to do something about that whole isekai situation.
Definitely.
And an audience-inserty Japanese dweeb who starts raving about deleting everything and everyone in his way the second he discovers his ability to nullify all matter really shouldn't be so surprised when the pretty protagonisty orphan he was following around stabs him in the fucking neck before he can do that.
Whoa.
Of course, that does not mean that Menno is fully justified in doing all of these murders either, no matter how awesome she makes them look. She is very much being used as a political tool by the church, but after her fate becomes intertwined with another political tool, a kind-hearted girl named Akari who got isekai'd by nobles who were looking for a magic nuke they could use.
This is an interesting concept. What the frick?
I have a feeling that she's gonna start to see her formerly black and white world in shades of gray. And eventually,
this sounds
perhaps,
boss.
If we are lucky, the vibrant Kira Kira colors of Lady on Lady love. But I'm only thinking about any of that because I'm already on board for what the story's doing. People who mindlessly clicked on the new isekai thing for some easy wish fulfillment and then immediately attached themselves to the fake-out protagonist aren't going to give it anywhere near that much credit before they get mad that the, hey, he just like me guy died, and you know, I can't really blame them.
That's a cool concept. I like it. Wow, Jesus.
Appreciate an exquisitely prepared plate of escargot when you're pretty sure you ordered a Big Mac, you know? But that does not change what the executioner and her way of life is at its heart. Gourmet anime for individuals of culture. If that's you and you go in knowing what to expect, it will show you a sublime time. Okay, I spent a bit longer rambling.
Oh, this is so good. Love After World Domination.
I don't have to say much about Love After World Domination.
This is
pretty much sells itself.
Amazing.
It's a zany rom-com about a straight-laced Red Ranger who falls in star-crossed love with the noble top enforcer
this is
of the
sick.
secret
So
organization
funny.
that his Ranger squad, Gelato 5, is supposed to be fighting. Red, aka Fudo, is a total meathead who spends all his time bodybuilding and is 1000% serious and earnest about everything always. In contrast to that, as a disciplined fighter who lives only for the thrill of battle, the skull-themed, lingerie-clad
Her costume is so freaking sexy.
cinnamon roll who has never even held a hand before and thinks you should wait at least 6 dates before something that lewd. Their love, likewise, is
so
completely pure.
It's so funny.
His fighting spirit and earnest demeanor, and he respects her skills and her nail game on Insta. But of course,
so funny they follow her on socials, and it's like, I know all these things about you.
Be hilariously overcomplicated by how they have to sneak around behind the backs of all their teammates, who are very funny characters in their own right, I might add. I really
but he gets the
like
doctor's
one
permission to go on the date. Oh.
Also, the animation is quite nice for the
really
jokes,
good,
the
man.
action, and the booty. There's really not much else I can say here. It's just a fundamentally good comedy anime with a great high concept and even better butt shots. Also execution. Do yourself a favor and put it on your TV. There's a lot of great comedy.
Yes, this was really good as well. This is hilarious. Ah!
For example,
this was on my list.
Title, which translates to Aharon-san is indecipherable. Hence why Crunchyroll didn't translate it that way, because it's a really awkward title that barely tells you anything more than the Japanese does.
Yeah, that's true.
What it actually means is that Aharon-san, the cute, small,
she can't talk very well.
Isn't so good at the whole social interaction scene.
She's so cute. There's such cute moments together.
Way too fast if she doesn't restrain herself, so she tries to stay distant and mumbles everything she says, which necessitates getting right up in people's faces to communicate with them. She's not that good at solving problems, but that's okay because Raido, the tall, serious one at the desk beside her, has a terrifying face that scares all his potential friends away, so he is desperate and also persistent enough to just plow straight through what he thinks is her giving him the silent treatment until he finally realizes that she was actually talking back the whole time.
Yeah, it's so funny.
They start spending time together. A lot of it trying
karaoke,
to help each other solve
lip
their
reading.
problems, and it is very cute to watch, but also the quirks of their characters naturally create a lot of opportunities for very funny gags.
Very funny gags. They're so funny.
The equally quirky cast of characters that surrounds them. You know, like how a high school romantic comedy anime works. But a very, very good high school romantic comedy. One that excels in both how subtly calculated the construction of those gags is, and in how creatively quirky all of those characters are. It is a well-made, well-maintained piece of basic comedy machinery that works incredibly well.
It's so good.
Though, now that I can look back at everything I've got listed,
Hey! This was not on my list, because this was rubbish. Heroines run the show?
But this list could still do with a bit more variety, so let's hope that Heroines Run the Show, the unpopular girl in the secret task, can keep its adorably disheveled,
did not like the first episode. I was like,
eyebrowed heroines relationship.
The eyebrows are weird.
Two hot dudes she's literally stuck between on the platonic end of things. Hiyori Suzumi is a simple, small-town country girl with big city track and field dreams and a big, lovable, supportive family that sadly does not have the money to pay for them.
So she needs to get a job.
She wants to stay in the city and
doesn't even look what the job is by the looks of it.
A part-time
And
job,
becomes a manager for these two
those
guys
that
who
actually
idle.
line up with a student schedule are pretty thin on the ground. And if that weren't stress enough, she's also been seated between the two handsome, bickering class idols, Aizo and Yujiro, who happen to also be actual idols of the pop variety, and quite popular ones at that. Every single girl her age recognizes them instantly, except, of course, for Hiyori, because her mind is always on the track. Plus, they're kind of jerks, so they
ain't nice to each other, are they?
And ironically, it is that very attitude, along with the fact that she's in the same class as them, that makes her an ideal candidate when she unwittingly applies to be the pop duo's assistant manager, which is far and away the most flexible, best-paying job she could have dreamed of, so she's kind of stuck with them from now on. But with her passion for track and two top-tier gal pals who have her back, she can endure anything those two haughty hot boys throw at her. Probably.
Maybe.
But even if she stumbles along the way, how could anyone not root for such enthusiastic, go-getting eyebrows? Also, she's very likable. All the characters
Is she though? I didn't think she was.
It feels very grounded and realistic compared to a lot of high school anime.
I did not put this on my
sort of having their own
ticks.
thing going
This was an
on.
X.
I like it a lot. Now, at long last,
Spy Family.
we've reached the end of this long list, and the title you've all been waiting for. Though, trust me, I've been waiting a lot longer. I've been an avid reader of the Spy Family manga since the week it premiered in Shonen Jump, and I've been vibrating with excitement ever since the anime was announced. With Wit Studio and Cloverworks co-producing, and Toro and Gundam Unicorn's Kazuhiro Furuhashi directing, there was no way this adaptation would disappoint, and the source material it's based on is solid gold. Some of the best executed
It seems dead good. I'm excited to be watching,
print,
continuing with this. This was definitely a tick for me.
Premise, so all it needed was a good execution to be one of the best anime ever. If you're not familiar, here's what that premise is. The man, known only as Twilight, is a master spy and master of disguise who works tirelessly to diffuse tensions between his home country of Westalis and her hostile neighbor, Austania. When a far-right Austanian politician begins secretly scheming to bring the two countries into all-out war, the intrepid agent must find a way into his inner circle. But that's easier said than done. For the reclusive, elusive villain has only one tie to the outside world, Eden Academy. A prestigious, elite school where Austania's brightest and best-connected children learn the skills they'll need to rule the country. Which means, if Twilight wants an in with the guy, he'll need to become the one thing he never thought his life would let him be. Take on the one job he never prepared for.
Be a family man.
Twilight needs to be a dad.
Yeah, man.
Adopting the alias of psychologist Lloyd Forger, Twilight swiftly acquires an adorable, precocious orphan child named Anya to act as his daughter.
She is so
After
cute.
comes to a mutually beneficial arrangement with one Yor Breyer, a ditzy government clerk who really needs a fake husband of her own to stop all the office gossip, and also to act as a cover for her second job as the Thorn Princess,
Damn.
a deadly assassin who wants to kill any who might threaten Austania's peace. Also, forgot to mention this, The orphan has telepathic powers that
Which is
allow
so
her to
funny.
know both of these secrets, but she doesn't really mind because spies are super cool.
Yeah.
Anya is the glue that holds this little found family together, and also a hilarious little gremlin with the best reaction faces ever. So look forward to seeing gifs of those everywhere forever. No,
yes.
seriously, look forward to it. She is delightful. You will not be able to help yourself from smiling whenever you see her face. Her adopted parents are also quite delightful on that note, as are the many colorful characters that their equally colorful careers bring into their lives. And the best part is, character-driven comedy is far from all this series has going.
It's got the action, man.
It also possesses a powerful, warm, beating heart.
The animation's boss. Like, oh wow.
When you read it. And sometimes that heart gets stabbed with ninja needles in awesome fight scenes, which the anime has already proven it can make even awesomer. Spy Family is
so
nothing
sick.
short of the complete anime package. 100% grade A gag anime goodness mixed with genuine action thrills and even more genuine moments of pathos. It is certainly the show to beat for anime of the season, and the one to watch if you only watch one anime this spring is what I would be saying now if your boy Kong Ming was not a thing.
What's this?
Ye Liang, or Kong Ming if you don't know your Romance of the Three Kingdoms lore, like I don't, this is coming from his wiki page, was the regent of the Chinese state of Shu-Han, whose
Have I not seen this either? Oh, I've done a bad job.
the greatest military leader of his day and earned him comparisons to the artist of war himself, Sun Tzu. Every military buff knows this dude is a stone-cold badass, but such titles and accolades mean very little at the painful, lonely end of a life spent warring.
Yeah.
On his deathbed, with his enemies closing in and his kingdom crumbling around him, Kong Ming wished only to enjoy peace in his next life. Now, the streets of Shibuya on Halloween night were not the first place I'd go to find that, but I guess relative to a battlefield, it's not too bad.
Yo, what?
And once Kong Ming clears up the understandable misconception that he's ended up in hell, he starts to find more and more things to like about
Wow, cool, okay.
First and foremost, the voice of what he'd first assumed to be some sort of demonic siren, but who is actually just a very sweet, earnest, and also smoking hot, aspiring musical artist named Eiko.
Cool.
And after she rescues his blackout drunk ass from a back alley and teaches him everything he needs to know about our modern world, Kong Ming decides to return that favor by putting his strategic genius to work on the bloody battlefield of the entertainment industry.
Interesting.
On her behalf. Though before they can get anywhere with that, he's gonna have to put in hours working with her at the club.
Oh, mate, this sounds amazing. Cool, cool.
Luckily happens to be a huge Three Kingdoms nerd. And, more importantly, he's got to learn how to party. Your boy Kong Ming features the consistently stellar animation you'd expect from PA Works, the bangin' music demand of any show with a concept like this, and a perfect blend of sharp-witted satire, chill slice-of-life vibes, and just a sprinkle of yearning, tragic melancholy to bring it all together. Plus a top-tier Genki waifu in the co-protagonist chair at a time when gal stocks have
she got nothing on Dress Up Darling video.
Sleep on this anime, guys. You watch this now and you will get to be that guy who's like, yeah, I saw Odd Taxi when it was airing.
Yeah, so good.
It feels real good to be that guy. Or girl. So if you only watch one new anime this spring, make it 2 anime. Your boy Kong Ming and
Spy Family.
It is so rare to see even one comedy of this caliber in a season, let alone 2. And that's not even counting Kaguya-sama, but that's a subject for another video. Probably of the hour-plus essay variety. For now, these have been the ones to watch for spring 2022. Although, just between you and me, they're not the only ones you could be watching. We do got some of that other stock out back again if you're interested. You know, irregular goods at discount prices. Well, technically some of them are on recall, but it's nothing deadly. Don't worry about it. On that note, as a fan of death games,
Tomodachi Game!
I was really looking forward to Tomodachi Game, which takes takes a different route from
that first episode. I was very impressed.
Who were kidnapped and coerced into playing a game by a creepy, cute mascot character by forcing them to gamble with huge amounts of money that they don't have instead of their lives. Indeed, the psychological experiments at the core of the story are genuinely fascinating, but
it's
they're
very
held back
interesting
a lot by the inept execution of the anime adaptation and poor pacing in general. Still, I could see this one getting really good as it goes on.
I think it could get good because it was quite clever. It's quite clever.
Wing, sports anime fans have two other solid shows
there we go.
to get excited about this spring. The first of those is Aoi Ashi, a rather unconventional shonen.
Oh, I've not watched this either. Oh, God.
Hot-headed soccer prodigy who actually is as good as he thinks he is and legitimately can carry a team all on his own and gets scouted for a junior pro team that's full of other dudes who also think they're the main character. And on the flip side,
Fanfare Adolescence. This was on my list. This was great.
Very conventional underdog-style sports anime about a kid who believes in himself and his dreams even when everyone else says they're impossible.
He wants to be a pop idol. Well, he was a pop idol, sorry, and then he wants to be a horse jockey.
As a professional male idol to become a horse jockey. It's pretty fun. If you need something to scratch that high-Q itch, either of those will serve you quite well.
Class.
Now, as for your fantasy itch, obviously there's a ton of things that'll scratch that, one of them being
Skeleton Knight into the World. This sold me as well, the first episode. Like, whoa.
Whose premise is basically, what if Overlord was just the bits where the OP Skeleton Knight guy chops bad dudes up? It has a charismatic protagonist and a very solid sense of comedic timing, but speaking of timing, I should warn you, because the show's content warning pops up while it's happening, that the show does cold open on some pretty graphic
that opening was like, whoa.
Shit, which is not an indicator of what the rest of the manga is like at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's another scene like that in the entire thing.
Right.
That only makes it weirder that they decided to make that
To
the very
open
first
it,
thing
yeah.
that people saw of this incredibly goofy comedy. Still, it
Right.
should tell you something about how funny the rest of it is that I'm still suggesting it in spite of that. Still too
Sick.
much for you? I understand. We also got a cutesy little moe
RPG
comedy
Real Estate, no.
RPG Real Estate,
Did
which
not
is
like
about,
this.
as
Did
the
not like
title
this.
suggests, an RPG party of 4 cute girls who sell houses to people.
Did not like this at
This show
all.
offers some zany situations, crazy characters, and also drop-dead gorgeous background art that
The animation's
really sells the
pretty spot on, but
fantastical
yeah.
nature of the properties that its heroines are purveying. It is a little light on plot, and the humor can be a bit hit or miss, but if all you want to do is relax and escape into an impossible fantasy world where magic and monsters are real and also houses are affordable, it can do that much for you. Speaking of escapes, for any of you who can get past its admittedly janky
What is
CGI
this?
exterior, Stab Life Great Escape offers a shockingly wide array of interesting, creative, if a little silly scenarios through its getaway of the week formula, with heroines helping an old man escape his life as a Yakuza boss so he can live his dream as a manly, magical girl 1 minute,
Oh my
and
God.
extracting free speech-loving ballet penguins from the censorious
What?
penguin communist regime of post-apocalyptic East Ikebukuro
This sounds
the next.
insane.
I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a good show, but I can never predict what the next episode's gonna bring, and it sure is fun to watch.
Wow.
That still wasn't all of the anime this season that I think are worth mentioning, but I got a heck of a lot of boxes to pack, so it'll have to do for now. For your convenience, here is a list of the 10 anime that
So it's on High Dive.
where you can watch them. And also,
Oh, it's Diamond's
runners
on.
up, like, somewhere around here in case you want to watch those too.
Right.
Now, one last thing before I go. I should note that there are actually 2 spring anime that aired a bit too late to make this list. One of those is Onipon.
Didn't watch
a comedy
that.
about 3 Oni girls who start a side hustle selling their tiger print boxers to weird humans.
What?
And also a somewhat contrived harem comedy called A Couple of Cuckoos that I am
How have
sure I'll have
I've
more
missed
to
so
say
much.
about
Oh
in
my
Bob's
God, what is
Trash
wrong?
video next month. Now, apart from those, if you think I missed or underrated a show you really love, or you think that one of my recommendations is just bang on, let me know all about it in the comments down below. And if you'd still rather watch another YouTube video instead of starting one of the shows I just talked about, go check out my in-depth
Oh, the
hour-long
Platinum
review
End.
of Platinum
Yes.
End, the failed spiritual successor to
Death Note, yeah.
As for me, I got more packing to do, so I'll see you later. I'm Jeff Thu, professional anime watcher, signing out from a house I don't own for maybe the last time.
Wow. Cool. I had a few disagreements on that. Like I said at the beginning, my video will be in the description down below. Go check it out. Yeah, some interesting things. High Dive is another one then that I need to... I could get my girlfriend to cancel their Funimation account and get a High Dive one. But anyway, thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video, I upload links in the description to the Patreon page. $1 a month is all that helps support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys very much for that. And thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe, and leave comments down below. Let me know that you watch us in future videos. I'll see you guys, all you guys, next time.